A warm welcome to today's 60-minute intensive starter training session from XFusion. We are recording this so you can listen to the training again later if there's anything you don't quite follow. My name is Oliver Popsor and I'm really looking forward to this training because we know that this industry has the potential to set you apart from the rest and propel you into the top 1% of this industry. You know that this industry produces more millionaires than any other, but I believe that only 5% of people in this industry are truly successful. And that's because most people have sold something and it's great for them, nice, but there's no follow-up, no training, no skills. And that's why people don't succeed. So on the hand, there are an incredible number of people who achieve great success. On the other hand, as leaders in the industry, we have a duty to increase the percentage of success stories in this industry. In example, how many people join and how many become successful. And I believe that the training we are doing now will help you to learn the skills you need to reach the top. My journey in this industry began with me not paying attention to the skills I really need in this industry. I was completely wrong in my thinking, and that's why I wasn't successful at first. And so it was that I had no success at all. That was the case until I realized that this business requires skills, just like any other business. No matter what you do, no matter what profession you are in, you have to learn a few skills. And for some reason in this business and in this industry, we are sold a dream and we think we don't have to work hard. And that is the biggest misconception. Yes, it's the best way to achieve leverage, but you still have to put in the effort. That's why it's called network marketing. So we have to work because that's what you need in this industry. Today, I'd like to give you a summary of what helps you and many others to really accelerate our careers. Learning and mastering these skills will take you to the next level. This will make the difference between you getting stuck as a networker or accelerating and rising to success. So please have a pen and paper ready because that's exactly what I did. Write the information down and review it. Put it into practice immediately. That's why I am where I am today. What you're writing down, you remember. And as I always say, there's nothing special about me except that I took the information and put it into practice. Because here you only need this one strategy, whereas out there, if you are studying engineering, for example, you have to learn 1,000 skills. You'll never need 99% of them. And here we learn just 7 skills and can always apply them in our lives in many different ways. That's why I think we can learn these skills quite easily. Before we start training here and applying the skills, you will first receive an introduction to the most important basics. You will learn what to look out for and which points are crucial for successfully applying the skills you've learned. Build your future today. And the first thing is that we are in this industry, and the biggest realization I had was that I've already been in this industry for so many years. What had I built up? It wasn't not just a team. What I had built was a network of different people, and my network grew and my contacts become even larger. What I had built up was the greatest asset one could ever have. A connection and relationship with thousands of people all over the world. And Robert Kiyosaki said that the richest people in the world seek out and build networks. Everyone else is looking for a job. So the way to exert influence in today's world is by building networks. And when I got involved in this, I realized that we are being paid to build the most valuable asset in the world, and that is a network. That excited me because I know that when I approach people, I'm building a new relationship, even if they don't join. And even if they don't join me today, perhaps the relationship will lead to something else tomorrow. And that's what drove me. I went to meetings after meetings with no expectations because my goal was to build relationships. I like some of them and I don't like others, and that doesn't matter because I walked away from every meeting as a winner, having initiated a new connection. I started talking to people on the train, in the plane, in the gym, everywhere. And what was happened today is that my global network consists of friends. It has grown so large that I think I could travel to any country in the world and stay at someone's home because I have built up this network over the last few years, and that's something extremely valuable in terms of opportunities and access to knowledge, of course. And I know that we are only 7 people away from every person in the world. And if you have thousands of contacts, you can reach anyone with a phone call and they can make another phone call and you've reached everyone. That's why I always do everything. I know what I'm building here. It's a very valuable asset. If you now choose a company like, say, XFusion, that's something we share because we want to create network marketing leaders, people who lead the company. We know that in the business we are currently involved in, we focus on what matters most. We look at the product, we actually need something that's high demand on the market right now. Whatever we sell, everyone needs it. And we look at number 3 here. Is there a system that can help you succeed? What I've learned in network marketing is that it's very difficult to build a large organization even if you have the best people and the best product if there's no system and no structure. So what is a system? It's training, it is presentations, it is events. Is there a system you can work with that helps you achieve your goals faster? And I believe there's something our company has, and I believe it's making much better progress. And that's something we can all be part of and learn from others in this organization, in this community, to accelerate our success. When we start with everything, I want to keep bringing you back to the fundamental idea when you want to create something in your life. It starts with you being clear about what you want to create. You can't just get started without a goal, without a reason behind it. That's why most people give up. They make a quick emotional decision that sounds good, and tomorrow they wake up and something isn't right, something happens, the cat or the neighbor says, oh, the industry isn't the best. And what happens then? You lose the motivation and give up on the business. That's because you haven't made a decision, because you don't think why you started a business or joined it. When you communicate the why to those around you and commit to it, you have set yourself a goal. So when I do something, I always need to know why I'm doing it. I don't do things out of a habit or because someone told me to. No, I need to know the reason behind it. And I've learned from experience that the deeper the reason, the stronger the motivation. The deeper the reason for doing something, the more challenges you have to overcome to actually achieve it. So if you have a person on a building, and I think that's a perfect way to illustrate this. If you have 2 buildings and a person is standing on one of them, and you ask them to walk from one building to another building. There's a narrow plank, they have to walk across, and if they fall, they're falling 50 levels down. So you ask this person to walk across the plank to the other building, and if they fall, that's over. The person looks at you and say, no, I'm not doing that. Why should I do this stupid thing? And what if you tell the person now that their family is in the other building and the only way to save them is to cross a plank, do you think that person would think twice? He would do anything to get to the other building and save their family. So what's the difference here? It was the motivation behind it. And the stronger the motivation, the greater the chances of overcoming the challenges. The greater the motivation, the greater the why, and the greater the challenge you can overcome. That's why you always dig deep into your why and ask yourself every day why I'm doing this. And when I connect with it, I connect with the why, the reason. A reason can be many different things. It might be for your own personal development, to get out of the situation, to help others, whatever it is. Write it down and then ask yourself a few minutes. More times, why? Why do I want to help more people, for example? Why do I want to help my family? If you have tears in your eyes and your voice trembles when you talk about it, then you have found something that drives you. And that is what will help you in all situations where you need inner strength to see things through. Because even in this industry where we are guided by many genuine leaders, it's ultimately you who wakes up every morning. You will be the one making those calls. You will be the one sleeping in your own bed the following night, not having you up lying in your bed. You have to be there yourself every single day, and you will be the one making the decision that will either lead you to success or not. A person becomes successful when they make the right decisions. To make the right decisions, you need help and experience. And to gain experience, you have to make the bad decisions. So the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful one is that the successful person makes decisions faster and learns from them, gaining experience and then being able to make better decisions and become successful. So that's a very important aspect, and many people talk about the why. And I believe many people have heard of this before, but they just brush it aside. All that personal development stuff sounds good when you say it on the stage. But what are the reasons for having that drive? And that's the fuel. So we are talking about the right company and the right vehicle. So we are sitting in a Ferrari. And if you fill the Ferrari with the wrong fuel, it won't run. So if you fill with kerosene, okay, the car might be break down, but then it will just fly on that fuel. And the jet fuel is your reason. So whatever you want to fill up with is your reason. So if you have a reason that drives you, you need a goal. Now you have to get into your Ferrari. You have the best Ferrari. You have the best jet fuel. Now you have to set the direction. Where do you want to go? You can't just drive around in circles. You can't just drive off anywhere. Set the direction on the GPS and the navigation will take you wherever you want to go. And that's your goal. What is that you want to achieve? And a goal should be something big enough to inspire you and small enough that you believe in it. Because if you tell me that you are going to make $10 billion in 60 minutes, I don't believe you, and you will also do it. And I know you don't believe in it as well. And that won't really motivate you to work harder. And if you say you're going to make $1,000 in this business over the next 2 years, then you don't need much to achieve for that. You can wait a year and then put in all efforts to make one sale. But if you say you want to earn $10,000 a month from this business, you will never earn more than $3,000 a month. That's something you can achieve, but you'll have to work hard for it. That motivates you. That it's a good goal for you. So you need to put it on the top, what you want to reach, higher than your expectations in the end. And I suggest you write your goal down, take it with you wherever you go. Put it into your wallet, write it down, or use it as a wallpaper on your smartphone. Every time I need an extra push or reach for my wallet or my mobile. It reminds me of what I want to achieve, and that's something that helps me stay on track. If you want to take it a step further, take your goals and your reasons and write them on a vision board. Whether you use it as a wallpaper on your phone or display it on your home, it's a powerful manifest. Why should you do this? Because it will remind you all the time, and you will think about it every single day. You will think about it as often as you can. That will help you. Whatever you think about to create something, that's nothing new. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years observing the richest people in the world and came up with one of the world's most famous quotes and personal development. And these are the reasons why people are successful. They have realized that the mind can achieve anything it can imagine and believe in. This means that whatever you write on your vision board and believe you can achieve, you will hold it in your hands. And now it's exciting to know that you can write anything on your vision board and it will happen. 100% if you believe in it. With all my heart, to help you believe in it, you need to act now. You need to start working towards it and keep your vision in mind. Keep your goals in mind and keep your why in mind. And what will happen then? It's the law of the universe working in your favor. So that is something truly powerful. Before we get to the skills, I believe that 99% of success is down to attitude. And that ties in with what we've just experienced. The remaining 1% is coming up now. So think about what I've just shared with you, the why and the goal. Attitude accounts for 99% of success. Now it helps to have the right skills. That's always why we are looking at this. I'm now going to give you 7 skills of relationship marketing. We like to talk about relationship marketing because we believe that network marketing sounds very superficial. It sounds as though you are doing it to build a network. That's a result. But the way you do it is by building relationships. And if we focus on relationships first, we come across with a different energy and we have a different approach. We'll achieve a different kind of success. If you see every person as a dollar sign, they'll sense that. If you see everyone as a friend you want to help, they will also sense that too. That's why we believe the term relationship marketing fits better than network marketing. The following 7 skills are fundamental skills, a basic, but they are the most important skills in this industry. And what's someone like Eric Rory, one of the greatest leaders in this industry, teaches? And if you truly understand each of the skills, I can promise you that you can make your business explode. You can multiply your goal 10x if you understand exactly these skills. So number 1, you've got your vehicle, your Ferrari. You have now filled it up with the petrol. Thanks to your why. You set the direction with the goal. Now you have to drive. And you need a road on which to drive it. The road you drive is on your list of interests. This business is done with people, so we need people. We have to talk to people, and the good news is that there are 8 billion people out there, and they're almost everywhere. Unless you're living in the woods, there are people all around you. You even have contacts in your phone. So we have an abundance of people, which is good news because that's all we need to build this business. So the first step towards your goal would be to create a contact list. And this contact list should be a list where you write down the names of everyone you know, and everyone they know, and everyone you've come into contact with. Everyone. If you need help remembering these people, you can use a memory jogger. You can search for one on Google. For example, think back to who your teacher was at the school. Perhaps they need what we offer. Who is your mechanic? Who cuts your hair? You know, we have so many contacts. We meet so many people every day. And from now on, you will add new people to your list every day. And That's really fun. If you set yourself a goal, you'll add 5 people every day. Now it becomes a challenge that spurs you on to talk to people everywhere. And I promise you, it's not scary at all. It's something that opens up a whole host of opportunities for you. You need just open your mouth and say hello to people and make a connection. You can do this on social media too. Social media is very powerful. Find people, send a message. And what should you tell the people? It's simple. Find something you like or something you agree with and say, I love your post about freedom. I agree with you. Where did you learn it? Or, I love your post about travels. Where in Spain did you go? What did you enjoy most? And just like that, a conversation has started. So, what is your goal? To start new conversations. And why? Because conversations comes before relationship. And what comes out of this conversation? Simply, what you do, they ask. Then you say, I help people make a profit on the Forex market. Or I help people quit their jobs and live the life they want. Or I help people quit their jobs and enjoy their lives. Or you know those people who travel the world and seems to have an online business that you don't understand how it works? Yes, I help people do that. Or simple, I help people become entrepreneurs, build multiple income streams, and live the life they want. And what happens now is that you spark their curiosity and invite them to a presentation to show them how it works. And we always want to get to know a potential client first before inviting them or giving a presentation. Why? Because some people you meet are interested in one thing and the others in another. Ask questions. If you always present the same thing to the people you speak to, it might work some, but not for everyone. If you meet someone who loves charity and you talk about how much money they can make from it, or how much money you can make at a self-serving way, you will lose that person. If you first talk about charity projects like we did here in Cambodia, like we did here in Vietnam, such as how we help orphans and then about how we build a community and help people become financially independent, then you've got that person's attention. So once you get to know them, you know what you should be pushing for. So always ask questions. What's your motivation? What are your goals? What are your pain points? What are you afraid of? And once you get to know people, you will know that what drives them. And then we will present them properly. That makes much easier. Even when you are compiling your contact list, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. Perhaps a person who isn't motivated, who plays video games and never gets involved in any kind of business is a perfect prospect because they're fed up with it and want to make a change. Perhaps a person who is too busy because they have 4 children and 3 dogs and no time for a meeting. Perhaps that person isn't too busy for business that gives them time so they can enjoy time with the family. You never know what people need, so don't prejudge. Don't say no to people. Let them say no to you. And here's how you do it. Just talk to everyone, and when you are starting out in the industry, you should never be afraid of rejection and realize that they aren't rejecting you. They are rejecting the business, or in most cases, because we have a good business, they are rejecting themselves. And that's something we have to get used to. It's no big deal if someone says they are not interested. You don't need to mob about it. Move on. Next, please. There are plenty of people out there, 8 billion people. That's a good news. So if one says no, if there's not going to do it, then you move on to the next one. Skill number 1 is finding potential clients. And how do you spark these people interest? It's quite simple because your story is very powerful. you can tell it like this. I used to hate going to my job. I hated it because I felt like I was stuck and had no positive future. And then I meet these people who run this amazing business, and now I feel great because I'm working on a side project that's exciting. Or before I didn't have the money to go on holiday. Then I started a business and now I can travel the world. Simple, guys. Before, I'd never learned anything about personal development and I didn't know how much we can actually achieve if we pay a bit of attention to our skills or inner motivation. Then I meet these people who showed me how to do it and now I'm so excited about my future. You see, a story is simple. Before I was this, then I meet these people and now it's this and that happening. Simple. I used to work at my job. Today I'm working on my dreams and that's great because I've come into contact with this platform. That's a way to spark curiosity, so they will ask, what do you actually do? That's what we want to have then. What are you working on? How can I find out more? You can also say simple things to someone who's complaining about something. You know about when they're talking about their job. Then you might say, for example, I found an alternative way to build a business on the side that doesn't interfere with our work. I found a way to profit from the Forex market with a company that's been around 2.5 years and making this and that profits each month. This, I have found a way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very powerful. You can say it to anyone. And when people ask, what do? You just say, I help people, and you continue. That's how you spark people's interest. And it's very easy to strike up a conversation and drop a few hints to that people ask more questions. Yesterday, a few people were here and asked me what I do. I had only some seconds to make a pitch, so I said, I help people realize their dreams and visions. Sorry, I have to go, but give me your number. Imagine how many people that made curious. So that's one way to spark interest. And then we come to the second point. We need to invite them. Watch a video or come to a presentation, to a webinar, a one-to-one meeting, an event or whatever. When you invite someone, it could be a scenario where you meet someone and simply say, I have just heard about this incredible group of people who are working together to make profits in the Forex market, and they ask, how can I find out more about this? Now is the time for you to extend the invitation. We should keep our invitation simple and briefly. And the way I invite people is, if I invite you to a webinar, would you spare 30 minutes to watch it? Or if I send you a 50-minute video, would you have time to watch it? Until when you have watched it? And if they say yes, then you send it off and ask them to follow once they've watched the video. Then you invite them to a webinar or a video. When we invite them, it's very important that we offer them added value to explain why we are inviting them. If I invite you to a webinar tomorrow, you have to come at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Someone will be speaking about this business. Something there. Are you thinking about whether you will change your schedule tomorrow to attend this webinar? I don't think so. That was what I said was great, wasn't it? I can do it better. Okay? You invite like this. If I tell you that we have a place available tomorrow at 5 p.m. where an extremely successful person will be sharing the secrets of success. This information you won't get anywhere else. This person has earned millions of euros. There you will learn how to change everything in your life. It will take 30 minutes of your time. If you are there at 5 p.m., I've got lots of people who want to come. I thought of you because you are very committed and I'd like to give you the spot before I move to others. Okay, this was a little bit much now, but you get the difference, right? I'm elevating the speaker. I'm shining the spotlight on them. So there's a big difference between inviting someone to a webinar or a video whilst genuinely praising the speaker. Why? Because I'm adding value to the presentation or the video. You're adding value to the opportunity, to the project. And what happens is that you create more success for yourself. When I invite an upline to a conversation, don't just say, this is my upline. No, learn how you can add value to them before you bring them along to the conversation. If I need my upline help, I would say, look, Peter, I would like to introduce you to someone who has helped many people succeed and change their lives. He's very busy and a good friend of mine, but I'd like you to speak to him for 5 minutes because I know what he says will help you and that you will understand why I'm so enthusiastic about working with him. And I will see if he's available right now. What happened is that you've highlighted the value. Now, when my upline speaks to this potential client on the phone, the potential client will listen with respect because you have placed your trust in that person. You have valued the person who's come to you. And a sense of respect develops between the prospect and the presenter. And that's something that helps you to build your business. Value the people around you. Valuing, inviting is all you really need. When you invite people, you build a big business. All you need is to know how to invite and value. I know some people didn't know how to present. Some didn't even know how to register someone in the system. But they just know how to invite people and value them. And all I'm saying is that this extremely successful person needs to be present in this place at this time. Because otherwise you will miss out on incredible information that could change your life. I've got 5 tickets left. Do you want them? Just ask people to come to events. So if you master inviting people and keeping them informed, it will help you to grow your business. Make it a habit and make it the rule. You will see your business will grow. If you are giving a presentation now, you shouldn't do it by yourself in the early stages. Why? Because you are still learning, you are new. Above all, new people shouldn't feel pressure to know everything, to present everything. It's far too exhausting to do all of that, and we don't want them to take on that burden. We want them to simply slip into this business smoothly. So what do? We let the uplines give the presentation at the start, or a webinar, a presentation. Invite them. The best way to create presentation yourself is to first watch a presentation or webinar by someone who knows how to create them. The way you see what the presentation looks like. Then when you want to give a presentation to your upline, they will guide you and tell you what's right or wrong. So you get some practice in. And then your upline gives a presentation to your potential clients. Now you see how they start the call or the meeting, how the upline answers questions. And what happens now is that you use a third party as leverage by elevating the presenter and incorporating the upline into your first line or leadership. What happens later, of course, is that your uplines bring their prospects along, and you can also bring your second line prospects to your upline. You will keep your upline too busy. So what do you do now? You became the expert. You've learned how to present and how to answer questions while building your upline. Then you carry on and help your first line, build the second line, and you become the presenter. They build you up. You present, they learn from you, and now you can repeat the process. That would be the perfect scenario. And because you can now present yourself, you can really soar in this business. You no longer have to wait for your upline and ask if they have time for your call. And I promise you, it will be frustrating from time to time when you try to call your upline and they don't have time because they're busy. Then you get frustrated, and that frustration turns into motivation to learn the presentation so you can become an asset to your team. Very powerful. So all you need to do for new people is this: spark interest, build a list, invite them, and add value. If you learn to do these things, you can take the first step towards success. Then you learn how to present, and now you can duplicate it. That's how simple this business is. After the presentation, the goal in network marketing is to close the follow-up. And if you don't close the deal, there's no follow-up either. But I believe we can improve our closing skills. I believe we can all get better at closing. The reason is that after presentation, many people find themselves in a situation where they feel uncomfortable. They ask, what do you want to do? And when someone is on the verge of closing the deal, the tension rises. And if you don't feel comfortable at that moment, you lose them in a second. And you experience this rise in tension when, for example, you are buying something and it doesn't matter what it is. When you make a decision to buy a car, the tension is rising. You then look the other way, and if something makes you feel uncertain at the moment, you leave the car behind and walk away. You say you will think about it some more, and so you want to navigate gently through that tense moment when someone is on the verge of closing the deal. And the way we do that is by offering more advice or simply asking if you want this or that. For example, do you want to start today? Are you ready to get going? On a scale from 1 to 10, how ready are you to start? You say, maybe, I'm at a 7. Great. What do you need to reach to a 10, you would say? And you now move into the consultation with them. We simply guide them through. And if they say, oh, I need now to know this and that and this, okay, great. Here's this information. Are you a 10 now, or do you need anything else? Yes, I'm ready. Good. Then let's set up a deposit for you. So when we talk about closing the deal, here are a few examples. I usually end the presentation by starting with them, sitting down with them, and them asking, that was great, wasn't it? What did you like best about getting started away? What did you like best about this presentation? Or if you've got to know them beforehand, like the sort of person with the 4 children and 3 dogs who wants to spend more time with the family and travel more, you could say, wasn't that presentation credible? You can actually generate cash flow with this and travel more with your family. Would you like to start it now? So simply confirm the motivation. Yeah? We just do that. Or you could say, do you already have crypto, or do we need to get some to make a deposit? This is more a consultation, but you are closing the deal because you are asking them, do you want to join or do you want to join? And after the presentation, you can simply go back to the back office and say, shall we start with 12x or 24x? Shall we start with Neo or Sonic, or with both? Where do you want to start here? Many opt for something bigger because they know this opportunity won't last forever, and people want to do it like most people, or like many others, very powerful in closing the deal. And don't be afraid of it. We help people make a decision. That's it. And when you get to the closing stage, there are sometimes objections. And I love objections. Why? Because these objections actually help you to close the deal. An example, someone asks you a question you don't have an answer to. Some people then get nervous and give an answer that isn't right, just to get out of the situation. But if you don't have an answer, just say, great question, let me put you in touch with someone who is extremely successful in this business and who can answer that question very quickly. This person is very busy, but I will do my best to get hold of them for a 5-minute chat. Because when this person speaks, I really want to pay close attention, as what they say will make a big difference. So you see, I've added value and turned a question I don't have the answer into an opportunity to add value, to connect them with an upline who can close the deal. Most of the time I do have answers, but I realize I don't want to give them the answers because I want to use the opportunity to involve the upline. That's a very effective method. And if someone says something negative, such as that it sounds like one of those pyramid schemes in the network marketing, but they may not realize that the biggest organizations are pyramids. The church, the government, and everything else is a pyramid. In the structure, there is a CEO, and everyone else is below, and below, and below, and so on. So if someone comes out with something directly negative, I would say, I understand how you feel. I felt exactly the same when I first heard about this industry, but then I found out that this industry produces more millionaires than any other industry on the planet. Or that sounds too good to be true. But after listening to Nick, the founder of Tagmarkets, and learning more about the system, I found out that's actually been working for more than 2.5 years, and the business will keep growing for the next 10 years. Use these approaches to handle objections. The best approach is to come across as confident, and if they don't want to join in, that's fine. There are 8 billion people out there. If you work on your contact list, you will constantly have people, so you will be fine with or without them. And if you approach this with that energy, they will see that you bring value to the table. They need you, and you don't need them. That gives you the power. Follow up. If you are coming to a close now and they still need time to think, that's fine. What I tell people is, okay, when can we speak again? I always try to end the conversation by setting a date for the next meeting. I always do that at every meeting. Never let anyone say, I would think about it, and expect them to get in touch later on or of their own accord. If they say straight out they are not interested, I simply say that's fine, but would it be alright if I got in touch with you and shared some news with you in the future? You might find that interesting. Most people will say yes to that. Or you could also say the following: would it be crazy if I kept you updated on new company developments in the future? No, that's not crazy, is the reply. So that no actually means yes. So if I've got to go ahead. But if there's someone who wants to think over or consider further, then you must, of course, get in touch with them within 24 to 72 hours. Why? Because after that time, the energy has faded. The impact of that meeting has evaporated. You need to reignite it and bring it to a close with a new presentation or fresh information. But after 24 hours to 72 hours, people usually still feel that meeting. Webinar presentation has taken place. And this works for webinars too. If you invite someone to a presentation, get in touch with them straight afterwards. Hey, what did you like best? Are you ready to get started? On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to get started? Do you have crypto, or shall we get some? This is very effective. You can always send further materials and videos whenever they are updated or news. In no means not at the moment. That means don't take them off the list if they say no and get back to them later. Never remove anyone from your list. If they say no, that's not my thing. 2 years later, they might change their mind and call you, or you might call them. And actually, the right time will come. Never just let them slip off your list. Then we have number 6. This is probably the most effective method that really helps you build your team. When we talk about the network marketing business, you just need to understand how to promote the next event or webinar. It will help you massively expand your team. When people see other people at the webinars and see how many people are there and listening to the speakers at the events or webinars, it changes their lives. That's a way to become truly successful, so you should promote every single event. And an event can be a one offline event, one-to-one calls, a small group, home, in front of the TV, a local event, regional events, international events, or just webinars, global calls. So there's a difference between announcing an event and actually promoting an event. You can go into your group and say that there's an event on Saturday that you just should attend. You just put it in a group. Or you call everyone. This is totally different. But that's not really motivating, right? When you just put a message in a group. You call all your leaders and say, guys, let's really get our teams going this week. Let's bring a bit of fire to our teams. We know that motivates people. Let's all have a call on Saturday. Let's invite everyone. And they just said, so what happens next? You announce it and then you publish it. That's how we get people on a call, and that's how you get everyone in your organization excited, because your job should be to bring people close to the fire. They'll start working like mad because they are doing the same thing. They will be motivated and get back to work, or even work harder. Make sure you attend all webinars and events. Be more committed than everyone else to getting them to the webinars. If there's a business presentation and your team sees you on the phone calling everyone potential customer, they will want to do the same. They feel the fear of missing out. That's why the goal is to bring more and more people to your webinars. Ask yourself, how can you get more people to the webinar? How can I get more people to the events? That should be one on your mind every single day, because that's where the magic happens. And the final skill is simply mastering these skills, mastering all of them, because when you master these 7 skills and duplicate them within your teams, you lay the foundation for building the greatest network market team that has ever existed. You create financial wealth for yourself and others. You create a legacy in a contractual way. This is extremely powerful, folks, and I suggest you take note of this and really make an effort to learn the skills, repeat them, and apply them. And how do we learn these skills? It's all about taking personal responsibility. These skills are right here. They are available and right in front of you. If you want to know more about how to invite people, just go to YouTube and search how to invite people. You will find plenty of videos on how to invite people. There are so many ways you can take responsibility for your own business to grow and become a better leader. We are always looking for leaders with initiative. We are looking for people who don't just wait to be told to do something, but who take the initiatives themselves and take matters into their own hands. That's an alpha leadership trait, and it's something we should all be asking ourselves. This is my business, this is my responsibility. No one is going to support me, no one pays my bills, no one doing this. I have to support myself, and I'm going to build this up, and I'm taking the initiative because through initiative I'm constantly developing. I show my teams how to become strong leaders, and I'm constantly improving everything I do through various initiatives. Very strong people. For those who are new in this field, for those who have only just started, or for those who are now setting themselves bigger goals, following what I've said, many people would say, what if I fail in this business? What if it doesn't work out and I don't reach my goals? Yes, you can use all your imagination on the strongest mental qualities. Imagination, you can use it all your imagination to picture a bad future, or you can use the same energy to picture a future that could go well. Imagine waking up every morning and truly asking and believing in the question, what if it works out? What if you manage to create momentum within your teams? What if your annual income becomes your monthly income? What if we are able to influence the lives of so many people that they look into your eyes with tears on the next event maybe and say, you've changed my life because you did it? What if everything goes perfectly and you achieve your goals and dreams and live your life leaving a legacy? What if you become such a powerful leader that people talk about you for generations to come, and how you change the course of your family, the community, your city, your country, the world? What if that happens, people? Isn't it exciting to think that it could work out? We are used to focusing on negatives, but take all that energy spent worrying and use it for creation, and you will get closer to your dreams. Because all of this imagination, anything can go wrong if you imagine it. Everything that goes well is also figment of this imagination. So why not imagine it in a positive way? And that means the chances are much higher that things will go right. I will promise you that. I hope you've learned something today. Everything will be fine if you do it right. The difference between a successful and an unsuccessful leader is the speed of which you apply new knowledge. So if you are someone who wants to be successful, use the knowledge, practice it today, and use it to invite people to the webinars. If you do that and get people to join tomorrow's or another Zoom call, you will find that things might have gone wrong. Okay, you made a decision. And if the decision was wrong, you're one decision closer to the right one. Soon we will be delving into the topic of leadership to take you to the next level. Don't miss this leadership training, because our goal is to create the strongest leaders there have ever been. We will reveal the secrets of a good leader and discuss the 5 levels of leadership. If that interests you, you shouldn't miss it. A very powerful call. And if you want to achieve something, you have to work it out. That's why it's called network marketing. Folks, I wish you all the best, and I see you winning at the next training session. Take care. See you at the top. Ciao, Oliver Popsor.